There were some super fun highlights during the Game Awards this year, like Evanescence performing, which was super cool and awesome to see, and of course we can't forget about Flute Guy, but there were also quite a few different game announcements that happened. There's more than the ones I listed here, obviously, but these are just probably the ones that I'm most excited about. Also, just wanted to do a quick shout out, I made a Discord server. It's linked on my page if you guys would like to join and chat about games and life and just things in general. Okay, on to the list. This game looks like it's going to be a super fun time. Starring Evan Peters, Bradley the Badger is kind of part satire love letter to gaming. This is an upcoming action-adventure game that sprinkles live action segments into the game. And while there are a lot of gaming references here, like Bloodborne and Cyberpunk, one thing that I thought was really cool was we saw Bradley use development-inspired tools to solve puzzles and just move through the world. I like that we get to play around with essentially unfinished assets to give us more freedom on how we approach things. This game is coming from Day for Night Studios, which is made up of people who worked on things like Red Dead Redemption and Mario vs. Rabbids, so I believe that we can get a banger story with lots of fun creativity. It's actually inspired by the team's own journey with making games, and I love that they chose to bring us into their world a little bit using these creative mechanics. It's currently slated for release on Steam, though the developers have said they are already looking into other platforms, so this is definitely one to keep an eye on. As soon as I saw the announcement for this game, I knew there were going to be a lot of people online arguing about whether or not it was a Souls-like, and wouldn't you know it, there were. But I will beat this horse until the end of time. Just because you can parry in a game does not make it a Souls-like. The game's director refers to it as an action RPG and introduces a style of what he calls Kung Fu Punk. Kung Fu blended with themes of steampunk and cyberpunk. The game looks incredible. I think the combat looks like a ton of fun. Plus, you're playing as an assassin, which I always think is cool. You play as Soul, an elite assassin serving a powerful and secretive organization known only as the Order. And you are unfortunately framed for the murder of your patriarch. Though you were gravely wounded, a healer's mystic arts have granted you 66 days to live, which means you also have 66 days to find out who is behind the conspiracy to end you. Phantom Blade Zero is actually a spiritual successor to the Rainblood series, and it is part of the wider Phantom Blade universe. I think the first Rainblood came out in 2010. I was reading interviews from the game's director, and I am very excited to see the finished product. They're doing a massive deep dive into the world of Chinese martial arts, tracing the roots of martial arts and learning from their inheritors, and using martial artists for motion capture of the game's characters. I always love when people really go in depth and put the work into making things historically accurate, or even just kind of paying homage to traditions through their own interpretations. This game is coming out on September 9th, 2026, and this one is set to be a PS5 exclusive for the first 12 months. Because I never actually had game consoles when I was younger, I never really got to experience the magic of the original Tomb Raider games. I got to play the one for a little bit where you can lock the butler in a freezer and go swimming, and that is literally all I did. I didn't play any of the game at all. My next exposure was in the form of the movies, and then I played the Tomb Raider that released in 2013, and I absolutely loved it. I really enjoyed that whole trilogy. I was very excited when they announced the new Tomb Raider games at the Game Awards. Catalyst is kind of helping to cement the timeline. It's part of Crystal Dynamics' plan to really establish the timeline as one single canon. The Survivor trilogy re-established Lara's origin story, and Catalyst is being released as a direct sequel to the events from Tomb Raider Underworld. So where does the Legend of Atlantis remake fit in? This is coming in to serve as a narrative bridge between the Survivor trilogy that re-established her origin story and the earlier series of games that ended with Underworld. So it's gonna go like Survivor trilogy, Legend of Atlantis, Underworld, Catalyst, I think. We're basically just finally ironing out the details of Lara's whole story. Catalyst is apparently Crystal Dynamics' most ambitious project to date, and we're seeing a projected release date for that one sometime in 2027. Legend of Atlantis is a bit closer though, with a release date of 2026. I thought this game looked really interesting when it was first announced, and I still am interested in the story. I like the look of it, and I played the Pragmata demo since it launched the day of the awards show. And you know, I don't know. I think this is probably an issue on my end, so I want to replay this with a controller to see if that was the problem. But the controls just felt a little clunky. I think I want everything to be really smooth, but for me, trying to control my movement while also controlling Diana's hacking and my aiming and shooting at the same time, it just all felt kind of awkward since that was all being done with my mouse. Maybe it was my approach though. I honestly haven't talked with anyone else regarding their experiences, and I haven't gone back yet to try again. All of that aside, I think the look of the game is excellent. I think the story is pretty interesting, and I'm curious to see more. The demo was around 20 minutes, so there isn't a huge chunk of it to experience. And I think so far this is going to be just like a good, decent game. I don't know about anything groundbreaking yet. I think I just need to see more of it. But I am still looking forward to the release on April 23rd, 2026. As someone who doesn't love scary games, I was surprised at how much I really enjoy playing the Resident Evil series. I haven't played all of them yet, but I have played a majority, and I am always looking forward to more news about the games. When we got little hints of a new one after Village, I was super excited, and I couldn't wait for more news. I was happy to see that we're playing a survival horror experience with Grace, as I genuinely loved 7, and I guess I just wanted more of that terror, and so far what we've been seeing looks absolutely terrifying, so I'm very excited about that. Playing as Grace, an FBI intelligence analyst, you go to investigate a body that has surfaced at an abandoned hotel in the Midwest, which also happens to be where her mother was murdered 8 years ago. Word gets out that a police officer has gone missing, so Leon Kennedy gets assigned to investigate, which is what causes their paths to cross. It is so awesome that we'll get to play as Leon again. I always feel braver since he is just so unfazed by all the craziness around him. I love that guy. I'm happy that we're gonna get 2 different playstyles with them as well to just fully experience the game. We don't even have that long to wait because it comes out February 27th, 2026. I'm happy that people are exploring more with handcrafted games, and Out of Words is the newest one to do so. It is a very lovely stop-motion co-op platformer that promises to be an emotional story about friendship and love while saving the world of Vocabulantis. That was actually the original name of the game when it was first announced to our world, but I really like the name change. I enjoy the play on words here for the world name of Vocabulantis, but the title of the game, being Out of Words, gives it a little more oomph, like a little more mystery. It's got physics-based puzzles, timing-oriented platforming sequences, which is honestly very bad news for me and my gaming partner because I tend to panic in these things, and it has cooperative interactions with the environment. I feel like I've been getting better at these games. Maybe it's the delusion talking, but I feel like I've been getting better, so hopefully I'll be a little more prepared by the time the release rolls around in 2026. I genuinely love a gritty style of setting, and I'm looking forward to No Law after I saw the announcement at the award show. This is a new first-person shooter set in a cyberpunk noir universe and has been promising a very rich, deep story, which I just love to hear. You play as grizzled veteran Gray Harker, a veteran of both war and the city, and he's left a different life behind him. He's no longer looking for trouble, but wouldn't you know it, trouble found him anyways. There looks to be a giant cast of very interesting characters that we can either ally with or make into enemies potentially. There's lots of different choices to make and different paths to take for the story's direction. And you can either choose to play stealthy and be a scary force of quiet destruction, or you can go in guns blazing and be a scary force of loud destruction. Seems like this is giving us a world is your oyster situation, and I really like having that freedom in the right environment. No release date for this one yet, but hopefully we'll get to hear more soon. We're getting a new science fiction RPG, and it is coming from former BioWare devs that worked on Mass Effect and Knights of the Old Republic, so I have massively high hopes for it. I am choosing right now to believe that this will just be great, and I will wait for more information before I start to cast any doubts. Exodus isn't coming out until 2027, so they do have plenty of time to work on it and make it something really great. It is set way off in the future after the Earth's environmental collapse in 2200, which is A, a weird date to say, and B, just, something fun to look forward to, and really spans a whole timeline that encompasses the rise and fall of interstellar political factions. It sees genetically modified human descendants, known as Celestials, and brings about a new form of interstellar travel. The story follows the Travelers, a faction dedicated to seeking relics that are scattered throughout the world. We're going to have multiple alien and human groups that all have different agendas, of course, with some obviously opposing the others. And this game features the talented Matthew McConaughey as one of the voices. Very excited for this one. I didn't want to make this video too crazy long, but there are definitely other things I'm excited for. I think the Free Shepherd looks great, kind of cozy vibes, but I feel like this will come with a heavy emotional journey. Coven of the Chickenfoot is a new indie puzzle platformer that puts a spin on the classic fantasy adventure story, and I really love this art style. It looks super cool. And of course, I am obviously looking forward to Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic, looking forward to Soulframe, Order of the Sinking Star for massive amounts of puzzles, along with things that have just already been announced for 2026. This is looking to be an incredible start for this year in gaming. I know everyone says that this is going to be a wonderful year in gaming, incredible year in gaming, but I genuinely do think there are lots of things to look forward to here. But I obviously want to know what everyone else is looking forward to. What were some of your favorites from the Game Awards, if any? Let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you all in the next one.